Prompting. One important thing to know about prompting is you can use multiple prompts at the same time. Sometimes just one prompt is necessary, such as a verbal prompt. In this example, with Smokey the dog. Smokey, sit! Sit! Good girl. There's the reinforcement, the positive reinforcement. That's right. And the prompt was to tell her to sit, a good strong prompt. Now, let's do a new skill. Come here. Come here. In this case, we're going to tell her to lay down. I'll use a physical and a verbal prompt. Okay, Smokey, lay down. Lay down, girl. Okay, come on, lay down. Lay down. That's right, good girl. Yes, see? So in this case, I told her to lay down, and while telling her the verbal prompt to lay down, I physically pushed on her back and pulled her paw out a bit, which you couldn't quite see with my shoddy videoing skills. But this is an example of prompting. Let's look at it one more time, an example of prompting. Here I'll use both prompts. I'll use a verbal and I'll use a physical. Smokey, lay down. Lay down. Okay. Lay down, Smokey. Lay down. Lay down. Lay down. Good. Good girl. Very good. There's my positive reinforcement. Reinforcing a correct response. It's very important to find a good reinforcement, a reinforcer that will work for your student. Several ways to figure out what that is ask the parent or family member. See what the child likes the best. Ask some friends. Try using what works for other students. You know, maybe saying you have a free pass on a homework assignment works. Maybe it'll work for your student as well. One thing you can do is also make an observation. Observe them over the long run and see what works well for your student. But it's very important to select one that works, because let's just say if I tell my dog, hey, you want a biscuit, you want a treat, you want to eat something, and she'll eat it, no problem. But look at this reinforcer. Now, the question is, do you think this is a good reinforcer? So it's really important to know your student. In this case, I know my dog well. And unless she proves me wrong in the video, I really don't think this is a good reinforcer. So, sprinkle some on my hand. A little bit there, not much. Okay. Smokey, do you want this? Here. Do you want that? Do you want it? Do you want it? Come here. You're a good girl. Here. Yes, you are. Do you want this? Do you want that? Go get it. Do you want it? Well, she did lick the cayenne pepper, but it was very hesitant. Didn't really want the pepper. Who knows? Maybe it's old, not that spicy. So she should have just not really wanted that. But I'm going to show you in a moment here with a positive reinforcer, something she does like, something that's yummy and tasty. Actually, I won't show you that in just because of limited time here, but had I given her a piece of liver, chicken, fish, you know, or a tasty dog treat, she would have snatched it out of my hand without any hesitation. Where this video now is 2 minutes long, it took her about 40 seconds to even lick the cayenne pepper. Always choose a good reinforcer. Maintenance. Maintenance is the ability to perform a behavior or skill over time. For example, if the student has learned how to say hello with the correct stimulus, you might want to check back in 7 months, 6 months. And it should also be a skill or behavior that's performed without any reinforcement. So once the reinforcement is 100% faded, you should be able to check for that behavior or skill without any reinforcements. Let's demonstrate with my dog Smokey. Now, she had to learn how to fetch the ball and so forth. But I'm going to show you that without using any prompt, no verbal prompt, no hey Smokey go get the ball, and no other physical prompt or any other type of prompts, I'm just going to take the ball, and I'm going to take Smokey. I'm going to throw it. She grabs the ball and hopefully brings it back to me. Smokey, bring me the ball. Good girl. So you can see she was able to fetch the ball but she was not able to bring it back. So in this case, it shows that there is no maintenance of the skill. So I need to continue to reinforce the skill. So just bring me the ball. Good girl. That's right. So we just check for maintenance, and in this case, we need to reteach. We'll check for maintenance one more time. Again, we have the ball. We have Smokey. Throw the ball. And she brings me the ball without any prompting. As we saw earlier, maintenance of a behavior or skill is very important to see if a student will do it over the long term. Because what's the point of learning 2 plus 2 if a second later you forget it? So you want to check for this, much later on. But on the flip side of that coin, although in the same vein, is also generalization. So generalization is the ability to apply that skill into new situations, new surroundings, into the new environment. Because in a very structured clinical setting or in an educational environment, exhibiting the desired behavior is one thing, but then not being able to transfer that into a different setting is just not really cool. So here's the ball. And it's going to be hard because my dog really loves chasing the ball. But I'm going to have her resist. Smokey, sit. Stay. Stay. I'm going to throw the ball. Now, 9 out of 10 times she chases it even if I say stay, so this might not work. Okay, stay. Stay. I threw the ball. She's looking. Go get it. She kind of didn't stay for long, but she stayed long enough. Come here. Come here. Sit. Give me the ball. Let's try this again. Okay, sit. No, 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 no. Come here. Come here, Smokey. Good girl. Good. Sit. Stay. 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 Well, that didn't work so well. We're going to try it one more time. Smokey, sit. Sit. Okay. Stay. 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 You're not supposed to get your voice upset like that, though, with a student. Good. You stayed. Now go get the ball. Go get it. That's right. So in the third attempt, you can see she found the ball. It worked. So this is in a clinical setting, in a yard, no big deal. But what we're going to see next is the generalization of the skill and behavior. We're going to take it in a different environment where it's crucial. We're going to take the ball and roll it down the driveway and into the street, into oncoming traffic. So, that way Smokey needs to be able to stay or she gets hit by the car. Let's see what happens. Here we are at a driveway. We're at a driveway with oncoming traffic. So we're going to take the ball and we're going to roll it down the driveway. Of course, there's Smokey. Okay, Smokey, we're going to go to the ball. Okay, Smokey, stay. Are you going to get the ball or are you going to stay? Good girl. Very good. So in this situation, Smokey was able to apply the skill to a different setting, non-clinical setting, to a driveway with traffic. And she was able to stay and not get the ball, so that car right there wouldn't run her over and kill her. Very good. Correcting errors. It's important to note when correcting an error, you definitely want to take away the reinforcement, and you want to correct the error in a very matter-of-fact-like manner. You want to appear emotionally neutral to the student. You certainly wouldn't want to take out any anger or hostility towards the student. So we're going to demonstrate here. In this case, when Smokey's presented with the food, I want her to stay. I don't want her to eat it. But since she's trained in this, we'll have to pretend. Smokey, go eat your food. Go get it. So now at this point, let's just say this is the error, and it's not listening to the stay command. You didn't stay, so I have to correct the error. I'm going to go up, matter of fact, no emotion. Okay, Smokey. Come here. Okay, stay. Now I told her to stay. You can see the food's over there. And so there's no hostility. I didn't say bad dog. I didn't punish her. I didn't hit her, anything inhumane. Just very matter of fact. So the reinforcement was taken away. And now since you did a good job, go get your food. That's it. Good girl. There's my positive reinforcement. So what you just saw was an error correction. You corrected an error. When we pretended that I told the dog to say stay and she didn't, and instead ate her food, I matter-of-factly took her away from the bowl, and then had her stay until it was correct, and then gave her the reinforcement again, which was her food. And I did in a very matter-of-fact-like manner. A few miscellaneous notes. Earlier in the video, when discussing maintenance, it was referred to that you want to check for the skill after a duration of time. You know, it could be a week later, a month later, it could be 7 months later. And the idea is you want to check for that behavior or skill is present without any reinforcement. You want the reinforcement to be faded. In the earlier video, I kept referring to prompting, you know, taking the prompting away. It's still okay to prompt when you're checking for maintenance, but you don't want to have the reinforcement there. The skill or behavior should be there without any reinforcement. And ideally prompting. You want natural prompts, natural cues. Another thing is a controlling prompt. A controlling prompt, that's the one that works. It's the least intrusive, but still gets the job done. If you're using a prompt that's not enough, like my prompt, let's say I'm just visually looking at my dog, but I want her to sit. That's not enough. But I could just, you know, kick her in the backside and make her sit. Well, that would be too strong and unethical, and I would never do that. But you want to use the prompt that works. So instead of just looking at her, and she doesn't know, or instead of, like, kicking her in the rear end, come here, come here, I can just say, sit, sit. That's right, yeah, good. So you can see this was the controlling prompt. Controlling prompt is the prompt that's the least intrusive, but gets the job done. It's the simplest one that actually works. So in this case, if I wanted to say, Smokey, come here, that would work. I wouldn't need to pick her up and carry her. That would be a prompt. That's a physical prompt. And in some cases with students, that's necessary. You know, you might physically need to move an arm or to help them reach for something. So you always want to think about what is the least intrusive prompt necessary to get the job done. That's the controlling prompt.